everyone, and welcome to The Balancing Act. I'm Olga Villaverde.
And I'm Montel Williams.
Today, how Father Flanagan's boys' home is still making a difference in kids' lives more than 100 years after it was founded. I love the story.
Plus, making sure the air we breathe is the best it can be. An innovative healthcare solution.
And supplemental health insurance.
It all begins right now on The Balancing Act.
Boys Town started over 100 years ago to provide a safe place for kids to learn and grow. Well, today, it's one of the largest nonprofit organizations in the United States. Keeping kids safe continues to be at the core of everything that they do. In fact, last year alone, Boys Town services impacted more than 650,000 children nationwide.
That's incredible. From research-proven youth care services to parenting to school resources, Boys Town is making a life-changing difference.
Joining us today are Rashawn Carrier-Williams, the executive director of Boys Town, Louisiana.
And a family whose lives have been directly impacted by Boys Town, Joni Wheeler and her son Isaiah. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Nice to be here.
Look, Rashawn, I mean, one of the things I read about is the fact that you have a 24-hour hotline, and over the course of the last year, over 110,000 calls that you guys had to service, right?
Exactly.
It's crazy. Why don't you just tell everybody a little bit more about the services that Boys Town provides? And also, I have a silly question. I'm looking over here and I see two little girls. So people need to understand that this is not just Boys Town, this is family services, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So you mentioned the hotline. Parents and teens can call 24/7 if they're having any trouble at home, be it disruptive behaviors or if they're having runaway behaviors or even suicide ideation. But we're much more than that. Father Flanagan started our program in 1917 as a safe haven for boys. But to your point, we have expanded much more than that, where we service boys and girls in a lot of different programs and services. We even start as young as preschool age. We're working with families, helping to link them to nutrition and mental health services. We also provide services in the school system. So we provide educational support for kids who are disruptive in the classroom or experiencing absenteeism. And then we also have a host of services for families to provide resources and supports within their community.
That's so great. The earlier the better.
It is. Isaiah, let me turn to you. There was a time that your mother turned to Boys Town. Tell us what happened.
Going into middle school, about 6th, 7th grade.
The tough years.
I got into the wrong crowd. I started to act up in school a little bit. Ended up trying to kind of snowballing, and it ended up me sneaking out, and ended up me engaging in some recreational activities that aren't the best. However, just over time, my mom started to notice the flaws that were going on and the things that were going on in my life, and then she decided to kind of take action and look into Boys Town at that point. So,
And Joni, that's why you reached out for help, right?
That's right. That's right. You know, Isaiah, he was a just charismatic little guy, always, helped the underdog. He excelled at many things. Learning was a little tougher for him, and that's where I saw that frustration start, kind of in the school system. And by the time he got to middle school, he's a little bit more behind. You got your peers, right? And just all that builds up, and he really did start acting out, and those temptations just became almost more inviting for him. A parent not knowing where their 12, 13-year-old is, in the middle of the night, that's tough. And so, yes, I sought after Boys Town because I had started traveling more as well. I'm gonna choose my family over my job any day, but just hearing about all the great programs that Boys Town has, I felt like the residential program would be what our family needed to really help Isaiah just get back on the right track.
Great stuff. So let's segue to programs. What programs does Boys Town offer?
So as I mentioned before, we have a holistic approach to working with our families. We provide services to youth not only in our residential programming, but a lot of our work is done outside of that program. So we're going into the home, we're helping families reach their goals, and we want our kids to be successful. Our programs are evidence-based. There's a lot of research behind our programming from the 106 years that we've been working with children and families. Not only are we working with youth in the homes, we also have a national research hospital. We also provide behavioral health services for our families as well.
Nice.
Clearly Boys Town changed your trajectory. So, think back on it. Let's start with you, Isaiah. How did it change you and your family dynamic? And then, Joni, I want you to tell us as a parent how it changed your family dynamic.
Sure.
Why'd you start?
The journey of Boys Town, at first it started off rocky because being a youth, you don't really have the big picture in mind. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, she sent me here because
She sent me to prison.
She sent me away, is what I'm thinking. But really over time, as I kind of, in quotations, faked it till I made it, eventually it turned real. And then once it turned real, it really started to kind of bond me and my mother together the time that we would spend together really kind of meant a lot more to me. And then over time, I mean, it just, over time, we just became closer and closer, and it became a more of a bonding experience at the end, towards the end, yeah.
You know, Joni, like a lot of parents out there may be thinking, yeah, it might not work for me, but how did it work? How did you see the dynamic? You saw Isaiah growing up, right?
Right.
You noticed that he was starting to embrace the discipline that he was learning.
Yes.
So then, how did it affect you?
Before Boys Town, I really thought I might lose my son to the streets, to these other kids. And I've seen how these kids have ended up not having a solution like Boys Town, and I was afraid. I was afraid for him, I was afraid for us, and I'll tell a story that he ran away twice at Boys Town, so he said, yeah, I'm gonna fake it till I make it, and the second time he ran away, I went to the house to meet with him and the family teachers, and he said, Mom, please just take me home. We can do this at home. And I said, son, your only path to home is to finish this program. And then I left him there, went in my car and just bawled like a baby. And the family teachers called me that night and said, your son came downstairs after a couple hours and he got to work. And for the next, as long as he was in there, he worked his tail off for the right reasons to get home. And our relationship, it just really cemented through that process.
This is so powerful. I swear, I think I'm going to start bawling here. What a story. Rashawn, tips and tools for maybe a family out there that's dealing with challenging times like this?
One thing that we always stress in our program is catch them being good, right? A lot of times our kids are getting into a lot of trouble, they're exhibiting a lot of disruptive behavior, so we tend to focus on the negative, right? But as parents or as caretakers, we need to start looking at the positive within our children. So we have something called the 4-to-1 ratio. So for every negative behavior, we want to have 4 positive things that we want to give to our children.
And that's what these bands represent?
Exactly. So one band would be every time I criticize my youth, I want to praise them 4 times. So this is like a visual reminder for the 4-to-1 ratio.
And then this one says teach love.
Teach love, exactly. That's one of our.
Absolutely beautiful. And I love this sticker, 10 ways to praise your kids.
Yes, that's a magnet that we have as well, that we, just to remind us, again, we just focus so much on the negative. We want our kids to know that we see the good and that we want to emphasize the good and we want to see more of that good.
Really important to do.
Peyton, come pick up your things. We talked about this.
Sorry.
Pick up your stuff so people don't trip and fall. Thank you for listening. Now the house looks so much better and people can walk through. Nice, you're working on your homework. I know I could count on you to get your homework started.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, you rock. Way to go, your room looks beautiful.
And Isaiah, you're a father now yourself, so there were tools that you learned in Boys Town that are helping you as a father, right?
Correct, yeah. Going through Boys Town, there's a ton of different skills that they try to help you learn, and through that, I mean, I've picked up so many different things. I can rattle them off for you right now, but moving into fatherhood, I feel like I just am better prepared for if my son were to go through the same things I went through. And at the end of the day, I feel like I would be able to kind of guide him in the right areas and try to teach him the right skills in order to be more of a productive member of society.
But you probably have the tools that might stop him from veering that way.
Exactly. And that's my main goal, is to make it so that he doesn't even have to go through what I went through. However, if it does happen, I feel prepared to take action.
And Joni, you're now a national board member for Boys Town, right?
Correct. The experience and just watching him being a dad, it changed our lives. It changed our family. I believe it saved our family. And so when I had the opportunity just a couple of years ago to join the national board, I jumped at it as an opportunity to really pay our experience forward, and just seeing all the inner workings of Boys Town, through the board's eyes, it's amazing.
Pay it forward, huh? What? You're gonna make me cry.
I am. One more question. Have you taken the time to look him in the face and tell him how much it's meant to you? Look him in the face now and tell him.
I love you, son, and
I love you too, Mom.
I love the dad you've become.
Thank
I
you.
love the man you've become, and I love where our family is right now.
Thank you.
What a
Thank
fortunate
you.
family I see here. God bless you for being such a tremendous mother. And you, good luck to you and your son, and
Thank you.
amen.
And
Amen.
you keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. America needs you.
So for our viewers out there who'd like more information, where can they go?
They can go to boystown.org and parenting.org. for a limited time, they can go online to get these free bracelets as a visual reminder to teach love and to do the 4-to-1 ratio at boystown.org/balancing act.
Oh, that's fantastic for a limited time.
Limited time.
So let's make sure they do that. Thanks again for everything.
You're welcome.
And if you want more information, you can always go to our website, thebalancingact.com. We'll be back right after this.
Here, I'll give you one because I'm going to praise you.
Oh, thank you.
So the air we breathe has a large impact on our health and development, especially in shared indoor spaces, schools, classrooms, hospitals, and healthcare facilities, just to name a few.
That's right. And clean, breathable air is critical to our overall health and the quality of our life, as we discovered during the pandemic.
Oh my gosh, did we discover that
Absolutely.
and more? Today, an innovative solution to create healthier environments for communities everywhere. Here with us is Fletcher Williams from Innovative Healthcare Solutions.
Thanks so much for being a part of the show today, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
So Fletcher, we mentioned the pandemic, and who can forget that, and it spotlighted, clean air, which is really important. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Absolutely. Well, when the pandemic hit, we realized that it was the germs we can't see that we truly have to be worried about. These things that constantly fill our rooms, spaces, shared spaces especially, that we have to be proactive in mitigating. And because of these lessons we've taken from the pandemic, we have realized that indoor air quality is absolutely something we should be focusing on as a group and running in shared spaces and working in these different environments.
So breathable air is not really an option, I think, for anybody.
Right.
And this is enhancing the air we breathe is really what you do, right?
Absolutely. Here at Innovative Healthcare Solutions, we've been in the sanitization game for about the past 6-7 years. When the pandemic hit, we realized that indoor air quality was absolutely something we need to focus on. Our different providers, whether that's healthcare, childcare, these places with shared spaces, especially with high contamination risks, need something to come in and provide clean indoor air. CerroZone approached us back in 2021 because they realized the big need for an efficient product that changes the name of the game in indoor air quality.
So Fletcher, I'm looking at the pictures. I see the teacher, I see the kids, and I see CerroZone. Talk to me about this product and how it works there.
CerroZone realized a need in different shared spaces, and they realized what they needed to go after was these harmful viruses and bacteria. With that, they are innovating the new standard for indoor air quality using their patented oxidation process that is going to kill 99.998% of viruses and bacteria in 1.2 seconds.
Oh my gosh, 99.998 in
correct.
1.2 seconds.
1.2 seconds. And what's more impressive is that's on the first pass. And this is why the innovation of the technology is setting the new standard, and they've plowed through all of the certifications that they've ever needed to get into these different shared spaces and prove that they are truly effective.
And are there different sizes?
There are actually 3 different sizes: a mobile, a mini, and a ceiling unit. One of the things they dove into was we don't want a huge product in a confined space, so how can we get it out of the way of a classroom, for example? That's when they created their ceiling mounted product, which lays flush with all ceilings that might be present. Then for larger shared spaces, such as auditoriums, where you need to move a good bit more air and purify that to that 99.99%, we're going to go our mini or mobile unit, which can go into different spaces. This is perfect for a hospital, for example, with different contaminated rooms.
And just to make sure, this is different than like just a HEPA thing, right? This is a little bit better than that, right?
That's a great question. During the pandemic, we learned a lot about HEPA filtration. This was kind of the tagline for that time. But what CerroZone realized is HEPA is only capturing. It's not sanitizing. This is where they made the big leap forward in creating a new standard of air purification, using their patented oxidation process that's not only going to take care of viruses and bacteria, but also VOCs. This is going to be your volatile organic compounds, such as formaldehyde or ammonia and things like that. These things that we can't see, but we still know are present or that we can smell. This product is going to sanitize it and create clean air in 1.2 seconds.
So what's the reaction, feedback you're getting from users? I mean, do they feel like they've noted a difference? And if they have, how?
So we have very base level things such as allergies. That's something when you go into a shared space such as the spring or fall, you realize your allergies are going to get worse, but these products in these spaces are going to absolutely mitigate any allergies or pollutants that might be in the air. Then we have more higher level cases such as universities with laboratories that have formaldehyde and things like that present. They're reporting back to us no obvious odor, no scent that used to linger constantly in those laboratories because this product is so versatile in what it can kill.
Any final thoughts?
There's a lot of different competitors in this marketplace, but one of the things that they aren't doing is they aren't being proactive in getting the certifications they need to affirm all the statements they're making. For example, CerroZone has just been awarded Company of the Year by Applied Technologies within the air purification technology realm.
2024?
2024,
Wow,
absolutely.
that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Now, if people wanted more information, where would they go?
They're going to go to ihcsolutionsusa.com/CerroZone.
You know, I think I want a mini one with red around it.
Yeah, and disco lights.
And disco lights,
And
yeah.
disco lights.
Do you have any white noise? Because I sleep with white noise.
We can customize that for
There
you.
you go. Come on.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Fletcher.
Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Thank you, guys.
And for our
Absolutely.
viewers, if you'd like more information, go to thebalancingact.com. Do you sleep with white noise?
My wife does.
See? There you
So
go.
that means I do.
We've been offering some great tips on supplemental health insurance thanks to the professionals at Wellabe. This morning, we have another great tip from Kelly Rayburn, who is back to share some more. Welcome back. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great information so far that we've been understanding supplemental health insurance. You've taught us a lot. My takeaway is it covers what our primary health insurance does not cover, right?
That is correct.
Check.
Yep, and it's important for you to buy it now. Buy it before you actually need it and before you retire. It's easier for you to put it into a plan now. You can use it for your budget and you're planning for retirement before you actually get to retirement. So think about it as it fits into the overall retirement plan instead of just another piece of insurance.
So when you say buy it now, when? What do you mean?
So you always want to buy it before you retire. It's going to help you save money. The older we get, the more expensive it's going to become. So rates can stay stable or level as we buy it in younger ages. So knowing that you can plan, how you can plan in your budget and financially get it now so that you know what those dollar amounts are.
And I'm assuming, I mean, from what you're telling me, this makes good financial sense
Absolutely.
for anyone that's saying, okay, yeah, she's right, we got to do it now.
Oh yeah, the benefits are going to pay to any other health insurance benefits, so it's non-coordinated, and it adds layers of protection to plans that are already in place. So it's better to be prepared now and in the long run.
So what would you tell to someone out there that's, I've got years away for this, I'm not going to be doing this now?
Oh no, better now than later because it's going to be less expensive and you can go ahead and put it into your retirement plan before you get there. There's a lot of stuff coming in the future to be thinking about.
Great stuff. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. And if you'd like more information on supplemental health insurance and any plan that you may need, check out wellabe.com or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
Remember to head to our Facebook page, like us on Instagram, follow us on X, and visit thebalancingact.com to enter our latest sweepstake or giveaway.
Make sure you love that family of yours, you stay safe, and we'll see you next time.